Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I sure will, copycat. Good morning to the top of to everybody this morning. It is December the 12th. It's about 6:45 a.m. Tonight we have a special, and actually I'm going to be a guest over at Willow Way Ranch. I believe that's at 5 p.m. Central Time, and then at 7 p.m. Central Time we have a special regarding are they just a-holes or is there really a reason that these people are out doing audits of the First Amendment. Folks, I had a misconception about the First Amendment and what these jerks were doing. Well, I thought they were jerks, okay, when they were going up against the police officers. So tonight, we're going to go in depth about really what are the five rights in the First Amendment and why it's so crucial to our existence, our liberties, our freedom. I think that many people do not realize that we're under attack in many ways. I mean, we have the Second Amendment. People always talking about the Second Amendment, talking about how they can make things different by standing up for the Second. Folks, people are going to jail over the First Amendment. People are going to prison over the First Amendment. It is a civil rights movement that's happening across this country. And I looked and I really have been well, happy birthday, Michelle. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. If I looked at in depth and I've been researching common law and black law, and tonight we're going to really get into it because, folks, there's homesteaders and there's preppers and there's people that talk about things and talk about what they're doing to change things. These people out there that are fighting for the First Amendment are really taking blows for this country. They really are standing up to a tyrannical overreach, a police state. And I think that when we really look at it in depth, people are going to be actually shocked because, I've always seen, and you've probably seen too, these little smart aleck, well, you think they're smart aleck kids that are going up against the police. But is that really what it's all about? Many people don't even understand the First Amendment. So this morning, I want to briefly touch about the First Amendment before we get into the morning news, since we're a little early. The First Amendment guarantees the residents of the United States certain fundamental rights. Without it, many of the freedoms that Americans in the country enjoy would be under serious threats. It's worth noting that the term actually refers to the first adjustments that were made to the American Constitution. Initially, the Constitution, which was written in 1787, never stipulated the rights that would come later. At the time, the overriding belief was the rights which would be added in 1791 as part of the amendment were not necessary. Folks, I want you to think back to the beginning of 2019. I want you to apply the First Amendment. What five rights does the First Amendment guarantee? Freedom of religion. Typically, the First Amendment refers to the inclusion or addition of the Bill of Rights to the American Constitution. Interestingly, one of the first freedoms the Bill of Rights mentions is that of religion. Looking at the U.S. today, you would be tempted to believe that this was always allowed, but it really wasn't. Today, however, Americans are free to practice any religion they want. They have the First Amendment right to thank for that. The freedom of religion is something that the country's founding fathers considered essential for the well-being of the whole nation. The freedom of speech. The country's founding fathers equally considered the freedom of speech worth including in the Bill of Rights. They believed it would be wrong to allow the government the freedom to stop people from speaking up over any issue. It is little wonder that Americans are some of the most liberal people regarding what they can say to each other or to the government and any other institution. I think many people do not realize where the First Amendment comes into play. Today, the government of the United States is unable to punish Americans for saying whatever they hold dear to their hearts, and freedom of the press. Now, we have seen this getting stripped away as we see a mass media psyop happening with the newspapers, radio, TV, printed pamphlets, online, which includes social media. And it's supposed to mean that we have the right to publish our opinion on any platform without having to worry about the government stopping us. However, you're not immune from facing consequences for your actions, though. On top of that, this right gives you the freedom to publish your thoughts. The right to assembly. In 2019, we've seen the right of assembly stripped from our country as people could not go to church, school, or have freedom of movement from point A to point B. Folks, when you really look at the right and the First Amendment, this is so important to each and every one of us. The right to petition the government. Lastly, the First Amendment gives all Americans the right to petition their government. Today, that might not look as important as it was back when the amendment was made. However, the founding fathers did think about this. Folks, I think that many times people don't realize what we're up against as this country is under attack in every possible aspect. In every possible aspect. And those five rights of the First Amendment are very, very important. Most people don't even realize that you can move your vehicle and travel in your vehicle from point A to point B with no driver's license, no insurance, and no registrations or plates. Most people will not stand up for that right because they're not aware that it is a right. We have the right of freedom of movement in our personal property. Driver's license, when they first were initiated, folks, that was another way to put the thumb over the top of you. And that is very, very interesting. If somebody would please drop Willow Way Ranch's channel, I'd appreciate it. Some of the mods have been taken off, and it's not your fault or anything like that. It's because the channel's growing, and there's certain things that mods can do that we have to be aware and alert of. And so I have narrowed the mods down a little bit. Nothing against anyone. I did not expect this channel to be almost at 1,100 subs in less than a week. I guess I should have known. We have a very strong community, and more people are watching and getting involved with this channel. And even when we get back over to the other channel, there's still going to be a nightly live here at 7 o'clock. We'll figure out how many days a week. But I think it's very important. I think our 7 p.m. live in the evening, one, is a lot of fun, and two, brings a lot of in-depth conversation among our channel subs and our members and our family and our friends. So I think that that's very important. Thank you, Tamara. And if we could drop that a couple times, I will be over there tonight as a special guest. Mr. or Mrs. or both of them invited me to come over. We are going to have a military panel. It should be an interesting night. I think she has questions lined up for us. I'm not sure. But I want to talk about things. This morning, also, our Second Amendment is under attack. Every time we turn around, it's a little bit more of a push to take away freedoms that are in our Constitution. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central, folks, this is going to be something that you don't want to miss regarding the First Amendment. I want to talk about this, and it is regarding the Oregon's 10-round magazine limit. They're saying it does not implicate the Second Amendment. A federal judge suggests that it does not. The new ban, which has been blocked by a state judge so far, has fared better in federal court. Folks, every time we turn around, there is something new about our Second Amendment. A state judge in Oregon this week issued a temporary restraining order, a TRO, against the enforcement of new gun restrictions. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't stand for our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and our amendments, we will fall. At an issue of Measure 1114, which Oregon votes narrowly approved last month, the initiative, which has provoked several lawsuits in state and federal court, requires permits to buy our firearms and bans magazines that can hold more than 10 rounds. The federal lawsuit argues that the 10-round magazine limit violates the Second Amendment. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Violations of the First and Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, are happening every single day here in this country. Most people do not realize that the police are not here to protect you. They're here to initiate a documentation of your movements, of your things that they can build a case on to charge you money. That's what it's all about. There is no rehabilitation when you go to prison. It's not about that. And then that makes me very angry about our prison system. when someone goes and they serve their time and they've done their time for their crime, right? No matter what that crime may be, no matter if they spent 25 years behind bars and then come out because they realized they made a mistake. They took 25 years of someone's life and then they come out and then they get punished again because they're unable to exercise their Second Amendment. Is this correct, or is this wrong, or is this right? That's something really to think about. The person has served their time and their indebtedness to the society. So that, and they've lived through hell. They've lived through hell. So far, the signs really are not promising for those who hope that the Bruin would be a wrecking ball to dismantle gun control laws nationwide. In response to lawsuits filed by the Oregon Firearms Federation and the Firearms Policy Coalition, a federal judge this week declined to issue a TRO against Measure 114. So, based on reasoning that seems designed to sabotage the wrecking ball. We will see where this goes. But, folks, the Second Amendment is under attack. Our First Amendment is under attack. Many, many people are standing up around the world. I also want to touch this morning on what do you got there? I missed something. Good morning, Ron. Everybody's saying good morning to each other. Thank you, Tamara. So I hope that you will join us tonight over at Willoway Ranch and show some support for Willoway, who's been involved in our channel for a while, and show support for OTWP. I don't know what she's up to, but she's up to something, and it's going to be all military personnel, so I'm sure it'll be very interesting. It is all under attack, folks. We are under attack from every angle that you can imagine. We've been... Be safe. I had to grab coffee. The next thing I'd like to bring up this morning is what's happening out on the West Coast that's getting ready to pound the Midwest and the Heartland. Because, folks, we've been talking about this, that people need to brace for a major, major winter condition. And, folks, if you are not prepped up and if you are not ready, there is no time like the present. Iron Woman 7, I'm going to show you something a little different tonight, so I hope you're able to join in at 7 o'clock. Don't believe that the United States, don't believe that Americans are not standing, folks. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a serious question since you wrote that. Let me ask everybody in the chat. There's about 30 of us. Are you willing to go to prison? Are you willing to go to jail? Are you willing to lay down your life for the freedoms of this country? Hit a 1 in the chat. And I mean, when you hit a 1, take that question very serious. Are you willing to stand up for your rights, for your amendments, and the Bill of Rights? And if you are you willing to go to jail? Are you willing to go to prison? Are you willing to lay it all on the line? Hit a 1 in the chat if you really are. Because this is where we're at in this country. This is where we're at right now. And if we all don't start putting our money where our mouth is, then what is it worth? I'm going to tell a quick story before I go into this next article. I'll leave that up there. When I lived in Colorado, as many of you know, I had a very lucrative company, a corporation. I had a commercial carpet and floor company. And at that time of my life, I was rather cocky, a little more cocky than I am today. So I'm driving. I get pulled over by the police department. The police department walks up to me and says, "What is Precious Industries?" And now, let's paint the picture correctly. Yes, I was driving a very expensive vehicle. I had a brand new Escalade EXT right off the showroom floor. So at that time, you're looking at a $65,000 vehicle. Yes, I had gold on every finger. I was very arrogant, cocky, and a smartass. Okay, let's get it in perspective. I'm sure none of you would ever believe that I was a smartass. But this is the question. This is what happened. I didn't even realize at the time I was standing up for my First Amendment. What happened is the cop approached my door, and the first thing he said is, "What are you, some kind of precious jewel company?" And I said, "Excuse me," because my company was Precious Industries Incorporated. I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "What is that?" I said, "I don't really think I have to tell you that information about what kind of business I have." "Well, you ran a stop sign." I said, "I did." "How far? Where was the stop sign?" "Oh, about a mile back." "So you followed me a mile." And I stood up to him and didn't comply with what he wanted. At that time, I really did not realize that I was exercising my First Amendment, and that's why he didn't have shit to say. I told him, "Why would you follow me a mile through a neighborhood with me driving 15 to 20 miles an hour?" "Oh, he was running my plates, correct?" He was running my plates. Well, he proceeded to start to lecture me like he thought he was my daddy. And I had to tell him something. I said, "I have a very busy day. If you want to write me a warning or write me a ticket, do so. But I'm not going to listen to your lecture. Am I being detained?" He said, "Well, I'm just going to give you a verbal warning." He was prying for information about me, about my blue Escalade EXT driving through a low income neighborhood. That's exactly what he was doing. I had a second incident at King Supers in Aurora, Colorado. And at that incident, I parked right in front of the door. I, I kind of thought like this, that I always had front row parking, and I took advantage of it, no matter what the consequences, because I didn't really care. So I pulled up to the front door of King Supers, jumped out, went in, and at that time, I had someone else in the vehicle. The police officer approached the window and said, "Move the vehicle." She told him, "I can't move the vehicle. I have no driver's license." So he proceeded to wait for me for about 15 minutes. And when I seen him standing at the truck door, I decided that I would take another 5 just to watch him. And so I came out and he began and I said, "You're not my father. Do you want to write me a ticket?" "No." I said, "Am I being detained? Have I committed a crime against a person or an establishment?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, then you have a good day." I got my truck and he was trying to talk to me. I shut my window and put it in drive and pulled off. See, there's a difference between taking action and not taking action at all. There's a difference between standing up for our constitutional God given rights and not. There's a difference between talking about it and not doing it. And they will. You're exactly right. They will jam you up. The best thing you can say is that you don't answer questions. The best thing you can say is, "I don't answer questions," and leave it at that. You do not have to show your driver's license in the United States of America if you're pulled over and you have not committed a crime. Tonight we're going to go deep down the rabbit hole of the First Amendment. I think it's very, very important. Yeah, thank you, Iron Woman, for putting that in there. So we have everybody better be bracing. We have severe, severe storms that I believe already have hit the West Coast, and now they're going to be sliding over into the plains and the West. And they're going to be, everybody needs to be prepared because, folks, could we have like a snowball effect? That's something that I really think we need to think about. A major winter storm will blanket California and the West through the weekend before becoming a northern plains blizzard and moving toward the Northeast. Dragon super cute. She said, "Do you think you should call your mom?" My mom is probably more prepared than a lot of folk. This storm is so powerful because of the southward plunge of the jet stream, which will move eastwards across the country weekend into next week. Folks, we haven't even broke out our fireplace. We've been saving that for a very, very situation. The thing that is concerning about this storm is that there is supposed to be a tsunami of shutoffs. 20 million American households are behind on an average of $788 on their utility bills. And folks, I want you to think about that. There's 3 ways that you can really drop your monthly costs. And me and Dragonflies have done it. Okay. One, unplug anything that you really don't use on a daily basis. switch over to LED lighting. Compared to those big household appliances, light bulbs don't seem like a big deal in terms of energy consumption, but they really do add up. And we always try to find solutions on this channel because I can bring negative doom and gloom to you day in and day out. But I think it's really important that we think of some solutions. Seal and insulate your windows. There's not much time left before you're going to be losing so much out of those windows and out of the roof. So take the time. If you can't afford the window kits, get some heavy duty plastic. Damn, worst case scenario, use some trash bags. Put up anything on the inside and outside of those windows to protect yourself. Line dry your laundry. Some clothes require line drying because it's more gentle to specific fibers. At this time of the year, it's really hard to line dry your laundry, but it is something to think about if it's a nice day out. Instead of using your gas or electric dryer, to use a line dryer. One thing I will say that we've done is we bought a converter box for the heat from the dryer. And so what that does is actually Tommy knows now. I put a chair there, and it's a box about, I don't know, it comes right off your heater hose. It's about yay big, right? So all your heat goes into there, and it catches all the lint, and it comes out. So it does two things for us. One, it provides us fire starters that I can collect the lint, and it's very easy to collect. Second thing is that if it gets really cold out there, Tommy now has a warm place to go. And he's actually, at first it scared him, but I can turn that dryer on in increments, especially at the coldest times of the day, to help keep him a little warmer. I have made him a foam board box, and I've also with cardboard, and he's got blankets, and he's got lamb's wool, and wow, he's got it all. Yeah, he's got it all hooked up. But I want, be ready for this situation that's going to occur. Because as it gets colder, imagine if the grid gets taken down, which we've already seen 6 incidents of different states having grid situations. I do want to get into this. Folks, they're coming at us again. They are coming at us again. And what is going to happen? Someone just gave me a report that we have a serious issue in the hospitals. And folks, you can see there in the United States that we do have some serious situations going on with our medical industry. And it's starting again. So let me blow this up so you can all see it really good. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop me out of the picture so you can watch that ticker at the bottom. That ticker at the bottom gives you a lot of detailed information, and I hope you can still hear me. Somebody give me a 10 by 10 that you can still hear, and I'm used to doing it this way. Do I got a 10 by 10? Tamara, she's holding the blindfolders on her eyes because she doesn't want to see the truth. Some people will not see until it's at our front door. Thank you for the thumbs up that we have sound. But as you can see here, we got, the United States is lit up again. Now over here in Asia, they have this serious situation going on. But I'm really not concerned about other countries right now, and that's just the truth of the matter. I'm concerned about us, boys and girls. Wyoming social media reports the death of a 55-year-old who succumbed to botulism. Oh, whoa. After being conscious but completely paralyzed for several weeks in Salt Lake City Hospital. Woo, that's something to think about, folks. When you're canning food, you better be doing it by the books. You better know what you're doing. The last thing you want to do is watch someone perish from botulism. An apparent outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza, HPAI, has been found in some wild birds and domestic poultry across Mississippi and surrounding states. So we have a lot of reports coming in. We got a black one coming in here over here. Wild birds in Calicia, I'm not sure, Caucasia Parish have tested positive for H5N1 highly pathogenic avian influenza, also known as the bird flu, in the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. We've got something going on down here at the tip. It's not the United States, but I'm curious about it. The United Nations says chloria is spreading in Haiti. Oh, here we go with that. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff going. We got a red alert over here on the East Coast. one of only 15 that have occurred nationwide since the most recent outbreak began in May. One of what say sometimes hard to read. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced it would not renew Mpox, the virus formerly known as monkeypox, as a public health emergency after January 31st, 2023, following a drop in cases. The Chiquita. There's been trouble spiking the coronavirus positive hospital admissions among seniors in the western United States, rising to levels not seen since the summer, reported the Los Angeles Times, the biggest newspaper in the West Coast. So the CDC is coming in with a lot of things here on this chart. Up in the far East Coast, we have some other situations here as well. The Vermont Agency of Agriculture, Food and Markets and the U.S. Department of Agriculture has reported that they did an animal plant health inspection and they've confirmed the presence of a highly pathogenic HPAI, the avian influenza. So we are under attack again with the bird flu. And I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I don't think that's going to happen for a while. We also have a outbreak in northwest Iowa at the turkey growing region of Sac, Buena Vista, and Cherokee counties. Yeah, yeah, it is into well, the bird flu is bad and has gone to South America. Yes, it has. The Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks, the KDWP, of multiple cases of bird flu is circulating in Finney County and surrounding areas. So, you can see there that we have some serious situations at hand. I'm going to pull this up so y'all can see what's happening nationwide. I'm going to blow it up a little bit so you can at least get a gander of the. There we go. Just so you can get a little gander of what's going on here. So we have Tokyo, Japan, avian, Taiwan, avian flu, H7N9, H5N1, and 2 and 1-3, Taiwan out of control. Cherokee, Iowa, Buena Vista, Iowa, Sac County, Iowa. Turkey farms. Now the turkey farms are getting it. United Kingdom, same situation. Webster County, Missouri. That's just a few miles from us, folks. Bird flu confirmed in Webster County, Missouri, December the 9th. Just a few days ago. All right, I'm not going to go too far back because we have some other things I'd like to talk about this morning. Because as we often do, we drop in to see how the good old USA is looking this morning. Are we taking bets this morning on that we have more crime or less crime here in the States on a Monday morning? Do we have more crime? 1. Or we have less crime? 2. Let's see it in the chat before I pull it up. I'm 1 for more crime. 2, that the USA, we're just hunky-dory. And Tamara, as you said, that your mom, you can't talk her into anything. So maybe if she's seen the crime rate and realized that the crime rate, y'all believe it's going up, up, up. Oh, yeah. Well, could that be correct? I think the United States, the crime rate has just fallen this morning, that there isn't any crime, that there is nothing going on in the United States, that we don't have an 800 to 1,100 increase in crime. I think it's down to 10%. I think I might. Remaining remnant, oh, you're praying that it goes down. I'm sorry, hon. It would be a nice day in the United States to see if the crime rate went down. But this was just updated this morning, and it's not looking too chipper for the good old USA. The USA is definitely in a downward spiral when it comes to crime. You're right, Annie Oakley, 777. It is up and away for the USA. As the dollar comes crashing down, we're going to see that because they don't have time, P. James. They're running around, and then they turn around and let them out with no bell. So, it should just be a free-for-all. We should just say and consider this as the wild, wild west, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, why would we want to do something different? Let's look back in history and see the shootouts that happen across the country. That's where we're at. If you look at that map and you look at It's all over the East Coast right now, all over the East Coast. And it is rather disturbing. It is. Um, you know, what do you do? Oh, that's right. It. I keep watching, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Are you serious? This is the new America. This is the new America. It's absolutely it's crazy. Uh, so many people will talk about it that all they hear, that they truthfully all they hear is gunfire in their neighborhoods. And this is affecting some of our channel members, but it's affecting the whole country. We got Wally World on the verge of closing down things just a few minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. And this is what I keep talking about with the ATMs. A group of thieves actually stole the ATM from the Baymont Inn. San Antonio Fire Departments confirmed four fatalities in the explosions on the far southeast side. And as we scroll across the country, jury selection is set to begin today in the trial of Deanna Davis, a woman that's charged after injuring a police officer while driving through a police line. That was at 2020 BLM demonstration on Bailey Avenue. San Diego police officer was shot early this morning following a vehicle pursuit that ended in San Diego's Mountain View neighborhood. Alleged shooter believed to be in a nearby apartment. SWAT is now at the scene. Good morning, America. Welcome to your wonderful world of a crime-ridden, infested place. We got another one. Oh, we got another one an hour ago. Houston police say a woman was found shot to death in a ditch in the Spring Branch area. This happened just before 4 a.m. along Antonio Drive and Side Street. Police say they have detained several people that were at the scene. Homicide investigators are on their way. But this is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at in America. It is rather sickening. And here's some pictures of the police showing up. Yeah. I don't know what we do. I don't know how we change it. We have an adult male in custody for suspicion of DWI. Flames shooting from a downtown high-rise apartment. Alive on the scene after one person was killed and more than 100 people were evacuated. And where's that coming in from? Oh, that's the Philadelphia one, I believe, that happened last night, isn't it? Last night they had a serious, yeah, yep, high-rise apartment. I'm on the scene this morning after one person killed and another. This is coming in from Channel 11 Morning News. Let's see if they got. Whoa. Wow. Now that would be a little on the nerving side to be up there in that building during a fire of that magnitude. That really would be something. We got patrol officers from Tampa Police Department sent on the area of 11th and Lindbergh Sunday yesterday afternoon in response to another shooting. We have deputies with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office investigating a shooting that left two people injured early this morning. And then, whoa, homicide investigation in the 11900 block of North IH 35. Where's that at? Is that Texas? I think Texas is keep making it to the police report. Well, all you can do, Tamara, is keep preparing because she's going to need you. Yeah, if you have a chance and an opportunity to get out of the big cities, I would say make the move before it's too late. Austin Police Department staging point will be the intersection of Sandpiper. So we got that going on too. So that's another homicide. It is rather disturbing. 2.3 magnitude earthquake out in Calpa. I'm not sure how to say that one. I never lit. Oh, that's down by Mexicali. El Centro. Another earthquake. Another one in Arkansas. This shake. Oh no, that's Alaska. Shake, rattle, and roll in it. Hallucinating 4 hours ago in front of Karen's kitchen. Well, isn't that nice? Just there in California. Hallucinating, asking for help, fire en route, units responding, code 3. A reported fatal early morning crash in Miramar. Hey, Miramar, you made it to the news. We got woman shot in the leg. Crime scene is up. Yeah, welcome to your morning, America. It is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I think in many ways, Josh, people will truly be trapped. Then Tamara, show her some down to earth things. Show her the crime reports. Show her the weather manipulation. My mother is going to be 80 years old here in 2 weeks, y'all. If you want to send a card to Foxy Mama, send them to me here at my P.O. box. She would love it. It's going to be her 80th birthday. We should have a birthday party for her on the channel. But show your mom those things, Tamara. You know, some people can't take a grasp of reality when it comes to Agenda 2021, Agenda 2030, and all those wonderful things. You know, they can't grasp it. They don't realize that it's really true. Um, it I don't know what we can do for people that have their head in the sand at this point. You know, we can pray for them, we can talk to them, we can't shake them, and many people see it, but they don't want to believe it. My mother, like I started to say, she's going to be 80, and she said, KJ, I've never seen in my life as this many tornadoes that hit the ground last year at Mayfield. She said, "What's going on?" And I reached out to her. I tried to talk to her, and she's like, she believes that that is happening. She also believes that the things that we're seeing now are not going to unravel, and we're not going to know the truth for 10, 20, 30 years, just like what happened to their generation. It's a little different with social media, but what happens if social media goes down? Good morning, Lenora. I appreciate everyone being here this morning. We have to keep looking and working for solutions. Is it too late? Is it too late to save America? Is it too late to realize the situation we're in? The situation, I really believe that we're going to see the fall, that we're going to live through it. It might not be this winter. It might be next winter. It might be next year. It might be tomorrow. But when the American dollar crumbles, it's very, very important that you're going to have a very narrow window to use those dollars for something, that the price will be escalated, and you may walk in and try to hand American dollars, and they may say, no. The CBDC is upon us. They do have pilot programs going. And when we think about that alone, I keep trying to stay in the positive about the CBDC, but I just don't see any positive coming to a way that the government control every aspect of our lives. And that's what it's going to boil down to, in my opinion. My research and the things I do, I look at it and I go, wow. And that's something to consider, folks. I think that people will not wake up until it's something so drastic that it's going to scare the shit out of them. That, in America, we're so comfy. We're so comfy, folks. And until someone gets it right at their front door, they can still keep the blinders on. They can walk around with the blinders and say it's not happening here. I've heard this for years. It's not going to happen. That's something really to think about. And yeah, yeah, RCX, we do, and they just approve more. They just approve more. Yeah, that's true, copycat. That's very true. Tamara, some people don't want to see it. Some people will not see it until it's too late. And the only thing that you can do is pray for her. You can Puddle of Souls put it very well the other night when he was on the live. You can walk, oh, what did he say? You can walk a horse to water, right? But you can't make him drink. And you can beat someone upside their head time and time again, but that doesn't mean they're going to listen. And that's why many agencies are trying to shut down the preppers. They're trying to shut down the homesteaders. They're trying to shut down channels because they don't want competition of teaching people how to make it. They don't want us to stockpile or get supplies, right? They don't want that to happen. They want us to be caught off guard and with our pants down, as the old saying goes. And there's a time and a place for everything. The time and the place right now is to get your boots on the ground and to keep doing the legwork. And I'm going to tell you this: don't prep beans. You may have an upset stomach if the only thing you have good to eat is some beans. Yes, to sustain you, okay, great. But to eat it day in and day out, man, it's not the thing for me. And you better have some Tums and, I mean, honestly, folks, think about your food supply and your water supply. I'll tell you this: I started doing it last week. Not only do I have that 5 gallon bucket out there collecting rain, but we've been getting a lot of rain here in the Ozarks. So what I start doing, I have planters, I have buckets, I have cans, I have coffee cans, I have stuff everywhere. Because you know what? Water can last a long time. Yes, you may have to put 1 drop of bleach in it, or run it through or over a UV light, or run it through a distiller, or run it through your Berkey or your Aqua Pure or whatever you have, right? But water can stay a long time. And I'm prepping water like there's no tomorrow. We have water stashed right now behind where I'm seating. We have water stashed over here behind the couch, behind the love seat, under stuff, around stuff. I'm stashing water because, see, when you just turn on the faucet, right, you think that this is really simple. I just turn on the faucet, I got water. Go back in Off the Wall Prepper and watch the SHTF series and the water series. The water series has a lot of information. Remember, it might sound disgusting to you, but the back tank of your water on your toilet is clean water. Your water heater stores water. Your pipes under your house stores water. Water is vital to survival. Vital. Yes, that's a good point. That is a good point. When you have the opportunity, Jessica. Oh, Jessica, your paracord bracelet's going out today. Just so you know. Um, I had to wait for some pink camo, baby, and it got here yesterday. So I'm gonna go pick it up, and then it'll probably go out tomorrow because I'm not gonna make two trips to town. But they're I just got to do the camo one. We got to keep putting our feet on the ground, folks. And water is life. Life is water, and that's really really important. And maybe it is a dry time. Even if you don't have buckets, get you a stockpile of some tarps, because tarps can help you in so many ways. So many ways tarps can help you. You can make a rain cache out of tarps. You can take the vegetation that's coming down that morning, misty water, those little dewdrops. You can drink that. There's plants that give us water: cucumbers, tomatoes, things like that, lettuce. It'll be done today. It's drying, Betty, so it should ship tomorrow too. I got several things that are shipping tomorrow. West Texas Danielle's paracord bracelets, Jessica's, Betty's tumbler. She's a Wildflower. Was it She's a Wildflower that won last night? We had a little giveaway, so you never know what you're going to miss if you don't tune in. And Brandy F's shirt. Those are gonna be going out. Yeah, yeah. See, it's really not good to shower every day. And remember too that when it comes to saving water, there's a lot of ways that you can save and decrease your water intake. Start trying it every other day, copycat. It's much better for your body. Or just rinse off and don't use soap. Soap is the big thing. Oh, poor Bethy. Yes, you did win something. Knock it off. I'm going to play one song and I'm going to come back on. We're going to have a little prepping show this morning, um, even though we just went straight into prepping anyway. Folks, tonight I hope you'll join us at Willoway Ranch for the military special, and then it's 7 o'clock for the First Amendment. What are they really up to? What's really going on? This is one of those special reports. And Dragonflies just put out a video too. So if you don't want to listen to the music, you could go over to somebody drop Dragonfly's link. I don't know what she put out. Oh, yes, I do. If you don't know how to make boiled peanuts, you may enjoy this video this morning. So go over and check out Dragonflies. Somebody dropped the link for it. If you want to hang out and listen to music for 1 minute, I'm just going to go get me another cup of coffee. We're going to come back on. We're going to talk about the list of things that we need to keep prepping and some things that awesome. Annie Oakley, much love to you. We're going to be doing a special this week, Betty, and you'll know it because you'll see the ships on it. I have an in-depth report. I have 2 in-depth reports coming out this week. One is the one we're doing tonight on the First Amendment, and the second one is on the maritime and the freight waves, the CDL, the things that got me involved in YouTube in the first place. What's the important parts? The booty. All right, folks, hold on 1 minute. I'll be right back. Thank you for dropping Dragonfly's link. Thank you so much. Let's drop Willoway Ranch's link too again, please. And let's hear one song, and I'll be right back, okay? Don't drop off. Don't leave now. Okay, I want to talk about something this morning that sometimes preppers, yeah, dang preppers, those preppers, oh the preppers, they be talking about things, right? But the homesteaders, oh okay, yeah, Brandy F, and she's a wildflower. That's right. That's who won last night. See, it's Christmas month to me. Every day's Christmas to me. But I want to talk about a concept that two is one and one is none. And a lot of people don't understand this concept. They don't really get it, right? But store what you eat what you store is a popular one. It's a very, very popular saying in the community because you want to use first in, first out when it comes to your food. And that's so, so important, folks. Good morning, Mama Freddie. Good morning, everybody. Lenora, nice to see everybody. So it's really, really important to keep thinking about some of these things. Um, the end of the world as we know it. That's a big popular one, right? But you'll hear this over and over in the prepping community that two is one and one is none. And where does that come into play? What does it really mean when you hear that saying? Because the thing is what if you lose something? What if something disappears out of your bag and you don't have it? And really what it comes down to. A lot of people in the military use that saying, and it came from the Marines and the Navy. So that's what the saying is, right? But I think that it's very, very important to realize that if you only have two of something, that you could possibly be setting yourself up for failure, right? You could be setting yourself up for failure. And that's like so important. If you have two flashlights and one of them goes bad, well, then you're kind of screwed, blued, and tattooed, right? If you only have two lighters, screwed, blued, tattooed once again. So those things are really, really important that you learn that concept and that you understand it and you grasp it, especially when it comes to your essential gear. You can cut down on a lot of things in your bug out bag or your get home bag, your survival kit, however you look at it. But when it comes to two is one and one is none, it's very important to think about that in a little different aspect, a little different realm of understand. Because what if you only have one? Then it goes out on you and you're screwed, blued, and tattooed, right? As the old saying goes. That's something that we used to always talk about in the military. I think that that's really, really important. The other thing that gets left out a lot of times is hygiene. Like we don't talk about it enough in the homesteading or the prepping community or the preparedness channels. Hygiene could cause so many problems, right? But how do you really stay clean in survival mode? And survival mode is going to kick in when we have the total breakdown, right? Survival hygiene is equally important as eating well and having clean drinking water. But failing to account for sanitary conditions can result in your body becoming more vulnerable to hygiene related diseases. And in no way, shape, or form, YouTube, am I a doctor? This is based on true things that happen. This is coming in from the CDC, and I am going to show this just a few of the diseases that can happen if you really don't take into consideration hygiene. I talked about it the other day: lice, body lice, head lice. But here's what the CDC has to say, and actually, this is a pretty good read: hygiene related diseases, athlete's foot, body lice. And why do I keep saying about the good old uh, don't put all your preps into beans? Because your stomach is not going to be able to handle it. And the next thing you're going to have is, well, diarrhea to the max. And that's not pretty. That won't be pretty. And the other thing is that when you think about diarrhea, it's going to dehydrate you. And in return, you're going to have to use more water to sustain yourself and to get better. Um, the thing that you want to really think about is that are you going to have the capability to take water that you've been saving for drinking, eating, and washing your body, and now you have diarrhea, and now you're going to have to uh, Oh, I drew a blank. You're gonna have to rehydrate your body, and that's huge. That's gonna cause you a lot of freaking problems. A lot of problems. You go down into tooth decay and dental decay. That's a big one. You know, Mark took the leap of faith. He went and got his teeth done. I have a tooth that I had to go and get the infection out of it. I got the infection out, so now it's going to get pulled. Head lice, nasty, nasty. Body lice, nasty, nasty. Pinworms, pubic lice, aka also known as crabs. That was a big thing in the military. Yeah, that's about the truth, country prepper. Don't mess with your stomach and your ass. Uh, oh, and then we got to talk about swimmer's ear, recreational water illness, and also, oh, scabies. Oh, ringworm. Do you remember when you were a kid and one kid would get ringworm and the whole school would have ringworm? These are things that you really need to think about in a SHTF situation because these things are going to come to play. I want to touch on it. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. It's caused by an infestation of the skin by the human itch mite. The microscopic scabies mite burrows into the upper layer of the skin where it lives and lays eggs. The most common symptoms of that is intense itching and a pimple like skin rash. The scabies mite usually is spread by direct prolonged skin to skin contact with a person who has it. It has occurred worldwide and affects people of all races and social classes. It can spread rapidly under crowded conditions where close body contact is frequent, and also such as nursing homes, extended care facility, prisons, and then also in an SHTF situation, you could get you could get it. Oh, it could be a nasty one, right? Let's talk about the treatment of it though, coming in so that we stay on the up and up. The CDC is recommending this treatment. Suggested general guidelines is important. Remember, the first time a person gets scabies, they usually have no symptoms. They usually take typically 4 to 8 weeks to develop after they infested. However, they can still spread during this time. In addition to the infested person, treatment is also recommended for household members and, well, your booty calls. I mean, your sexual contacts, excuse me. Particularly those who have prolonged direct skin to skin contact with the infested person. Both sexual and close personal contacts who have had direct prolonged skin to skin contact. Now, think about it. Now, you are going to be doing the Humpty Hump because you're going to be lonely and it's going to be the SHTF, and well, things will change. You'll be really. I'm sorry, folks. I'll stop it. Bedding, clothing, and towels used by the infested person or their household is also going to become a big play in it. So the treatment should be decontaminated by washing in hot water and drying in a hot dryer by dry cleaning or by sealing in a plastic bag. There's our key because if it's a real true SHTF, you're going to have to seal that stuff in a plastic bag for at least 72 hours. They usually do not survive more than 2 to 3 days away from human skin. Insecticide sprays is not recommended. Now, they're showing a list, and this is coming in from the cdc.gov, to use and to treat him. Okay. Oh, this is just, oh, it's making me itch. I'm going to get itchy. These products have been tested and approved to treat. There is no over the counter non prescription. So, this is another thing that we have to take into consideration that we may need to search out some ways. Clean clothing should be worn after the treatment. The lotion or cream should be applied to a clean body. So, see, we're kind of screwed, blued, and tattooed on this one because there is no medications that are over the counter OTCs. So, that's something to think about when you have no OTC medications for something like this. Ooh, nasty, 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 right? Oh, this is, oh, oh gosh. It's just kind of, oh, it makes you kind of wonder. Um, oh, God, I got to get that off the screen. I got to get it off the screen. And at this time, I do need to take me off the screen for a real hot minute. All right, we had to do that little news break just for the crowd here at YouTube to make sure that they're happy. The information that I did give is factual according to their website at cdc.gov, and we will take it for what it's worth. Ladies and gentlemen, you do need to be aware and be alert of these things that could possibly occur. When you get into that survival mode of medications, of diseases that can happen, it is rather, some of these, there's no way, to take care of it. And, hospitals are going to be probably pretty much non existent in a true SHTF, full blown, the end of the world as we know it. Right. So it's very, very important to learn this. Um, Also, there's four diseases that could actually become deadly after the SHTF or during a SHTF situation. It's estimated that about 66% of the US population takes one or more prescription drugs. Of those who don't take prescription drugs, many had to rely on medical care in the last few years due to the COVID and everything else. The truth is that we rely on our medical system in a lot of ways to just survive, right? And this wasn't always the case, folks. A mere 100 years ago, when our grandparents were alive, they did not go and agree, to the hospitals. They didn't go to the hospital for broken bones. I remember my granddaddy telling a story, and they were going from Nebraska to Colorado. He fell off a horse, had a green fracture, and his leg bones were sticking in the dirt, and pretty graphic, to think about that. And they put him on the back of a wagon, and he went for miles and miles to get to Colorado. And what they did is they actually literally tied a bucket with some rocks around it to keep his leg in place until they could get him to a medical facility. You know, um, we've seen though what happens, in different areas when it's hit by natural disaster, where medical care becomes unavailable for several days, and people start to die from easily treatable conditions. Right? They do. But the most common and one of the most deadly things is pneumonia. We all know what it is. It's air sacs in the lungs, right? And it's building up fluid. So you're going to need to think about different things like this. How to use herbs and make your own cold medicine at home. That would be a great idea. But also, you have to have oxygen. Now, they do sell, and I have it on the website at otwpsurvival.com. They do sell canisters, bottles, and I have some, I showed it, of emergency oxygen. And many athletes use it when they're bike riding and things like that. So that is something that you could get. Preventing pneumonia means taking cold and flu very, very seriously and treating them with plenty of rest fluids and natural remedies if possible. Also, having a tetanus shot. I'm not a big person on shots, but I've always had my tetanus shot. I've heard about people not having a tetanus shot and getting cut, and ooh, what it happens is really, really, really scary. So you want to think about some of these things ahead of times, because if the medical industry is not there to help support us, what do we do, right? And then you come down to UTIs, urinary tract infections, which are super, super common. And a lot of folks don't think about these things. They're unpleasant, but most of them clear up within a week thanks to a visit to the doctor. So these are common things that could happen in an SHTF scenario, that under normal, clean conditions, these are common things among women and older men. But on unsanitary conditions, they're likely to happen during a SHTF scenario. They could affect everybody and be a full blown catastrophe. And then also, we have to think about our food. Our food, we hear about it every year, more and more cases of E. coli. So that's another one. Thanks to modern plumbing and hygiene practices, it doesn't happen as much as it could. But what if you don't have those things ready? We're blessed here in the Ozarks. We have an outhouse, but you better think about how are you going to get rid of your dew. And I'm not playing. Prevention is key. Prevention is the most important thing that we could do, because you don't want to let the germs just keep spreading and an infection become deadly. So you really, really need. I can't go into a lot of things about first aid on YouTube. They really don't like it. We had a special, and I found out afterwards it could have caused me a lot of chaos. So it's really, yes, honey, and garlic. There's so many things, and that's why, like, being prepared. It don't ever sit in the chat and say, "Well, I'm prepared for everything," because if you're saying that, you're full of shit. You're totally full of shit. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there and be truthful with you. Yes, yes, they are, along with other medicines that we're used to that you can get OTC. So it's something to really, really think about, folks. It's something to really think about. Yep, it is on the list. Huh, interesting. And see, we're going to see that more and more. I still didn't get my coffee. So I'm going to go get my coffee. I'm going to play one complete song, come back on, and we're going to keep it pretty short this morning because I have a live at 5 p.m. at Willoway Ranch as a guest, and then we have a 7 p.m. special. I might change the 7 p.m. special because that's a lot in one day. And no, you could go to Dragonfly's channel, and I believe she did it on her channel. Dog Mama, I'm not gonna tell you in the wrong direction because the kitchen and the food is really not my thing. Dragonflies is actually going to teach me how to can because she's so worried about me eating if something happens to her and for us to, or if she got sick or what it may be, right? So I don't want to go into something that's not my cup of tea, as you say, right? Guys, we do have a big, huge thing of honey, and it's actually really tasty. Let me see what happened. Nope, it's still. There is a live coming out. A video coming out this afternoon. Little cooking show. Yep, the time is near. Do the dang thing and don't give up and don't give in, folks. You can check out OTWP Survival, which is right down below me. If you have a question, you can always reach out to me at offthewallprepper@gmail.com. I try to answer everybody. And there's a few people that reached out to me. I'll be calling you today personally. I'll send you an email to confirm a time, and then I'll call you. And the number is restricted. So, and many of you have talked to me behind the scenes, so you already know that. But if you ever need prayer, thoughts, hope, or if you have a question that you just don't want to put out on YouTube, you can reach out to me behind the scenes, and I do answer all my own emails. I'm thinking about getting dragonflies to start helping me. Yeah, definitely. Copycat. I went and I got a bag of cat food and a bag of dog food, and it cost me $60, $60. And so, yes, Saturday, that was Thursday. So Saturday I went again because the prices aren't coming down, folks. They're going to go up. So I went and bought another bag of cat food and dog food. And I'm going to continue to do that. We've also started cutting back on how much we feed ourselves as how much we feed our animals. Because if you can spread it out, spread it out. Because I've talked to some preppers that are pretty big in the community, and they are already getting into their preps. They're retired folks, and they're already having a hard time. She does. Okay. Yeah, I thought she did, Tamara. Thank you. What third eye say? Wow. Wow, third eye. See, this is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at already. Yep. And you do that for several reasons. Just like you do it with your heat and your air conditioning, you do that to start adjusting your body. Me and Dragonflies, we figured it out for 6 months because we feel that at any time it could be the tip over, right? So for 6 months, we do shift sleeping. And because there's just the two of us. So this cabin in 5 acres is under eyes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do we leave? Yeah. Do we have things in place when we leave? Yes. Do we have additional steps when we leave? Yes. But when we're here, we're 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And it's not from being over the top. It's about being aware of what's going on around us. Uh, this small town, Willow Springs, Missouri, just had a meeting on crime prevention that was brought up by the resource officer and the police chief. Why? It's a town of 2,300 people. I seen it and I was like, this is interesting. I did miss it. See, and I forgot I have a real busy day. Today is my first day that I'm going to help, and I'm going to the food pantry to help. Um, I think that if there's a way that we can put our boots on the ground, it's important. It's important to help in any way we can in our communities because, folks, you get out there, you meet people. And that's one reason I'm going to the food pantry is to help people and meet people and make more connections in my local community. I'm also getting very involved in our monthly city hall meetings because without us taking a stand, without us taking a stand in our local communities will be screwed. And so if you have the capabilities to go volunteer somewhere, maybe it's the Big Brother, Big Sister Club, maybe it's the YMCA, maybe it's an elderly center, maybe it's whatever it may be, maybe it's at a church, maybe it's at a food pantry. Get out there and become an active part of your community. Iron Woman made a good point. Why is it that we sit around and we don't do anything? I think that it's time that we all get active in our communities, not only for a political reason, but for a survival reason, for a prepping reason, to make more contacts. The more connections you have, if something goes haywire, the more resources you have, the more people you have in your corner to help you. No matter if you're in a large community or a small community, if you're in the city in a rural area, it's very, very important because it does, Country Prepper. Without us getting active in our local areas, this country is doomed. I almost dropped the F bomb just then. But that's where we would be. So you got to get active in your local communities. We have to. Today's my first day to volunteer at the food pantry. I'm super excited to meet people, super excited to be another step in my community to help, to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. See, there's a big difference. Yep. Yep. The more we stand, the more we free ourselves and the more contacts we can make and the more we can help to free other people. And that's really, really important. Keep on prepping. Don't give up. Don't give in. Y'all do the dang thing. I'm going to play one more song. And you remember, 7 a.m. Central, 7 p.m. Even this Friday at OTWP, those are the new times, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Central Time. That's when our lives are. And pretty much they're running from 4 to 7 days a week. When the other channel, we go back over there on Friday, We're going to have trivia. We're going to have a Christmas party over there. We're going to have our faith get together, and I'm gonna be really good. So I'm going to have Bobby Crocker and Betty Joe, and they're going to be cooking cookies to show how to prep cookies. Oh well, I won't get in trouble. Yep, yep. That's exactly what I'm doing, Josh, and that's exactly what I've been doing. Good morning to everybody. I'm glad you're all here. I'll be right back. I am going to make a cup of coffee now. Y'all are going to have to listen to a song. At this time, the show's pretty much over. We're going to hang out and chit-chat for a few more minutes. And I hope to see y'all over at Willoway Ranch tonight for the military special where I'm a guest. And then probably at 7 o'clock. Oh, we have church bells are in. Church bells. Let's see where we're going today. No matter where I'm at, this is a new thing. And I am very anchored in my faith. And we all need to get there. We need to get there. You know, in those days came John the Baptist preaching in the wilderness of Judea and saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Matthew 3, 1-2. In those days came John the Baptist preaching. Inspiration, John's the Baptist ministry was to prepare Israel for the coming of the Messiah, which immediately followed. He issued a call for national and personal repentance, but to a large degree, that call was not truly heeded. The long-awaited kingdom was hovering, as it were ready to come as soon as Israel would accept their king. But instead they cried out, crucify him, crucify him. But God used that rejection as the occasion to open up the door of salvation to the Gentiles, which also has been his plan all along. O Lord, you came preaching the same message of repentance that John the Baptist preached. You cried out, repent and believe the gospel. Mark 1:15. And even today, the Spirit you sent is crying out the same message whenever the biblical gospel is preached. May we respond with continual repentance and growth in faith throughout our sojourn in this world. Amen. Amen. Now, that's my morning one. So wherever I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, it's part of me now. And we have to keep walking in faith, light, love, and hope. And, you know, you put God first and everything else will fall in place, because tomorrow morning we'll be talking about mental and spiritual awakening. Mental, what's going to happen to people when it all breaks down. So at this time, I'm going to take a song, and then I'll be back. Give me just a minute to get me some coffee.
Close your eyes. white knuckles holding on a tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right. Moments pass, make this one count. Untied. You're so good at dragging yourself down. Why? Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, your doubts. There's a heart gone out of rhythm in despair. Held underwater, fire for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors around, You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feels bottled up inside, heading for collision.
I seen there was a question, but there was some questions, but I was making coffee. I told you I was getting coffee. Dang, Elaine. That song makes you feel all tingly inside. Well, that's good. So I'm gonna get ready to shut down the program for the day, but I want to challenge each and every one of you. Let me have a sip of coffee first. Uh, we've been drinking a lot of chai tea. It's really good. It's tasty. I never really drank chai tea. The Dragonflies made it, and I started drinking it. I like it. Um, Bougie, I hope you get feeling better. I see something popping up in the chat. I want to challenge y'all to something because we have become a world of a country, especially of consumers. We become a country of addiction. And you're probably sitting there like, I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. OTWP. That was a smack in the face. But I want to say this. I want you to challenge yourself just to 24 hours of no social media, no YouTube, no Twitter, no Instagram, no internet, no telephone, none of that, no communications, just 24 hours. Because if you are not mentally prepared for what could happen or what possibly will happen, how are you going to react? See, they've created monsters within all of us that we get up in the morning and the first thing we do is instead of saying, good morning, honey, good morning, hubby, good morning, wifey, good morning, children, is that we run and we all check our phones or we all run to our computer and check our computers, right? So I want to challenge every single one of you this coming Sunday to have no social media, no telephone, no television, no communications in any way, shape, or form, because you need to mentally prepare yourself. Myself and Dragonflies have done 72 hours, and we've also done a week. And if you think about it, It's going to bring you to a realization that mentally and spiritually, you may need to do some work on yourselves. You may need to do some work. Yeah, and it's true. So take one day, pick whatever day you want. But I challenge each and every one of you. And then next week, I'd like us to all talk about how we felt in that one day of no communications. It's very important to disconnect for your spiritual well being, for your mental well being, because I'll tell you what, when it all boils down to it and communication is shut down, you're going to see people absolutely go off the deep end. Am I nuts? Jessica, knock your shit off. It is a good thing. It's a good thing. Take your kids, Jessica, and would you be able to have faith music if it was a SHTF and there was no communications? You could be able to have a radio. You probably could pick up an AM or FM channel with music. Think about it. So, but think about it. Think about this really, because it's so important for your well being, for each and every one of us. So I want to put that out there as a challenge. And next week, I'd like to hear your stories. I'd like you to come up on the panel and talk about I did it for 24 hours and it drove me crazy. I did it for 24 hours and it was the best thing I could have did. I did it for 24 hours and I realized how it is. Because when you go for a week or a month or anything, yeah, oh, there's going to be so many things, from caffeine to cigarettes to media to TV, things that we don't even realize, or shopping. A lot of people cannot go a day or 5 days or 6 days or a week without having to go and say, I have to buy something. You challenge yourself. Make up your own challenge to yourself and then come and say what you did. Because I think that when you open up communications among all of our channel members, it really will open up your eyes. Well, and that's fine. But imagine what if it wasn't there, Jessica? Imagine if it wasn't there. And maybe that's not what you can do right now because of whatever necessity. That's different. A necessity is a necessity. But taking time, the yin and the yang, the balance in life is so important, because when it happens, many people are going to freak the hell out. They're going to freak out. Tracy, what the hell? She said, I've been trying to communicate with you guys all morning. It just now let me. I've been watching y'all. Oh, God, Tracy. Everybody, have a good day. I hope to see you tonight over at Willoway Ranch. I think I'm going to postpone the 7 o'clock live. I know we've been going 7 a.m., 7 p.m., pretty much 7 days a week. But that's a little too much. I only have like maybe an hour. Well, I don't know. I really have a lot to talk about with this subject, so I don't want to be freaking tired and worn out of the YouTube world when I do the show. So I think I will postpone tonight's live at 7 p.m. So I hope you all will join us at Willoway Ranch. I'm going to get out there and do the dang thing. I'm working on a lot of different projects. Come on, OTWP, you can do it. Okay, well, maybe I can just change it to an hour of a different type of live. I don't know. Let me see how the day progresses. If I can get my afternoon siesta in. Yeah, the peanuts are delicious, Manny, with Ada. If you've never had them, give them a shot. Boiled peanuts are delicious. Everybody have a great day. Big, huge prepper hugs to each and every one of you. I care about y'all. Keep doing the legwork. Don't stop. Don't give in. Mama Freddie, I am glad to see you. I hope you're doing better with the infection. Bougie, nice to see you. Elaine, Josh, Jessica, Vanning with Ada. Oh, Vanning with Ada. I do feel rather shitty this morning, so this is my hat. This is my hat, man. So I'll see you all at Willow Way Ranch. Willow Way, can I wear my poop hat or do I have to come a little more proper tonight? I better come proper. We're talking military serious stuff tonight. Am I ever serious completely? I doubt it. Nah, I feel like I'm going to have a shitty day. Oh, maybe it's because I have shit on my head. Oh. I'll see y'all soon. I'll see you at 5 o'clock over at Willow Way Ranch. God bless you. 5 p.m. Central Time. Everybody have a great night. I'll wear my Navy hat, Willow. I'll come proper. I'm even going to put a bow tie on. I'm putting a bow tie on, Willow. Just for you. I'm dressing up. I'm going to wear a shirt. I'm going to sit up straight. I'm going to wear my Navy hat backwards. But I'll be there. Everybody have a great night. God bless you. A good day. A good morning. What the hell? Where am I? Some shitheads are good people too. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate the input and the uplifting thoughts. Yes, I have a purple with stuff going through it bow tie and okay. All right. I'll show you some military. Yeah, I will. Mama Freddie's been asking, or was it Milk and Honey? Somebody really kept asking me. And honestly, I haven't dug them out. I don't know if you want to see this ugly mug with the birth control glasses on. That's what we used to call them in the Navy because they make you so damn ugly that you don't need any type of situation. Good morning, little boots. God bless you all from here in the Ozarks. It is December the 12th, 8:21 a.m. Until I see you again, my friends, big, huge prepper hugs. And keeping it real. Unchained. That's where we need to be at. Don't let them get you down. Because all we want is a simpler life. God bless you.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5 after with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time. In case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list, girl, you can skip this funny business. 'Cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from. Everybody knows my name. All my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cool night. Yeah, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life.